Hi everybody, it's Kris here from the Gallowgateshots YouTube channel. Just to let you know, as always, this podcast is now part of the 90-Minute Football Network and proudly sponsored by www.pt-4-u.co.uk. Enjoy the episode. Hi everybody, welcome back to the Gallowgateshots YouTube channel. It's me, Chris Wallace, and I'm joined by Mr. Mark Walker.
Thanks for having us, Chris.
Anytime, mate, anytime. We're going to be joined by some familiar faces, hopefully. We'll see. Just to give everybody a heads up, what's going to be happening on we're just inviting fans on. If you want to come have a chat with me and Mark about anything Newcastle United related, then just give us a shout. Give us a shout either in the comments or even better on Twitter. Or if you're a Gallowgateshots member, you do have access to the Telegram group. So the code is already in there. Mark, I'm going to come to you straight away. Eddie Howe's press conference today, mate.
Eddie Howe.
He's just, honestly, this is what we've been waiting for. I know a little bit, a small section of the fan base, I would say, were a little bit disappointed when you went from Emery to Eddie Howe. I think it's only right to say that. But just listening to that press conference and seeing the training videos from yesterday, it just looks like a breath of fresh air, doesn't it, compared to what we used to when Steve Bruce with his hands down his shorts.
It's mad, isn't it? Like the last 2 days, just seeing him in training and then taking his press conference today and meeting the press and stuff like that. He just comes over brilliantly, doesn't he? Like he's just so keen, energetic, full of ideas, and he just really comes across that he wants to get on and do a good job and really looked at it.
He wants to graft.
Yeah. And we need that after the last fella that was here, don't we?
We definitely do, mate. He's been in there at, 6:45 he turned up yesterday morning for his first day. Bleep test for the players on the first day. They must have hated him.
The walk-in. Morning, lads.
So everybody was everybody was laughing at John Joe Shelby saying, oh, he'll be knackered. But if you look at the video on YouTube, Saint's not even making the first beep. He's lagging behind on the first beep.
There was a bit in the training video as well where I think it's about halfway through, and like Saint comes across the camera and he just looks in absolute shock. He's like, he's not blown out of his arse, but he just like looks as if he's like, what the hell's going on here? Like,
yeah,
he's just been used to playing that at the training ground in his slippers and that, hasn't he?
Right, shall we get straight to it then, mate? Shall we bring the first guest in?
Oh, I'm a bit nervous.
Oh, yeah. Are you scared? You can see who's there waiting.
I know. I can see a few, actually.
Right, so we'll go in order. Liam was the first one, so I'll add Liam in. Hello, Liam. How are you doing, mate?
Hello, boys. I'm okay. How are you?
I'm not bad. What's your thoughts on Eddie Howe's interview today then, mate? I think, are you as excited as me, Mark?
I think it's the closest thing to porn that we've had as Newcastle fans for a long time, isn't it? It's
Lauren Robert's kegs.
Yeah, well, that was probably the last time, but it just gets you excited, doesn't it? He's started very well when you see the way he comes across excellently when you see him in training. I don't recall seeing many training sessions with Steve, but you very much doubt that he's the way that Howe was yesterday. He's come out today and said it's been a fantastic session and everyone's got involved. So yeah, why not get excited?
I don't think the players saw many training sessions in there, Bruce.
They did have a couple of days off a week, didn't they?
Yeah. So I'm going to throw a question towards you, Liam. Will Eddie Howe keep us up?
Yes, without doubt.
Without a doubt.
Confidence.
It was funny. I went down to Wolves, and it was the Saturday before we got taken over, and it was absolutely dire. Obviously, they got beat. But you're just watching the game thinking we're sleepwalking towards relegation. Just couldn't see any way out. And coming back, the whole conversation on the coach was about who's going to keep what. And there was only one person that was one name going around, and it was the best we could have hoped for at that time, and it was someone like Eddie Howe. So to get him now with this group of players, again, it's exactly what we need. It's exactly what that team needs. So yeah, I don't see why not.
I think a lot of fans, if you look prior to the takeover, I think both me and you, I think every Newcastle United fan were thinking, Eddie Howe, get him in right now.
Yeah.
He was top of everybody's list. And I think people got a little bit carried away with the takeover, thinking,
Absolutely.
Conte's coming in, somebody's coming in. But go back to basics.
Yeah. That's it. Like, if we hadn't have been kind of linked with all of these other names in the run-up to Eddie Howe being announced, everybody would have been, very, very happy with it. We know that there's only, a small percentage of disconcern and voices, but even they seem to have came around to the idea of him in just from seeing him in training and in his interviews and the way that he spoke in the press and stuff like that. And I think, just take a step back, forget about all the press noise and everything like that. Would you have been happy without all of those names of him coming in? And I think 99.9% would have looked and said, yes. We've got to be realistic at times. Yes, we've had all of this money invested into the club and that's brought lots of rumours around players, managers, and all of that kind of thing. But let's just see where we go with this. And I think it's a good appointment. He seems the right man for the job in everything that he's saying, and I'm really excited just to see where he can take it.
Yeah, Liam, do you think there's going to be any players that are going to flourish under Eddie Howe? Because we know so far this season we've seen a few of them struggle. Do you think anybody's going to blossom?
The forward players have to, don't they? He's already come out and said that he's all about attacking
speed, wasn't it?
Football, yeah, speed. So you have to think like some Miggy will probably come on. Do we need to see more of Maxi? Possibly, yeah. He might get more out of him. We know that he's going to get more out of Wilson. Is he going to get Fraser playing? So I just think the kind of big change we'll see is going forward.
Do you worry about Maxi at all, Liam? Just with the way that he kind of wants to be a bit of a free spirit on the pitch, and as it seems in training as well, that he might struggle with the way Eddie Howe wants him to play and go about things.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because you can't think of a player that Eddie Howe's managed who's similar to that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's a difficult one, isn't it? It can go one or two ways, whether or not Eddie Howe will really let him be that free spirit that Bruce let him be. He seems all about hard work. He's touched on it yesterday's training session, bleep test from minute one. Like I said, Maxi didn't look all that keen, but we've heard that he's not a very good trainer. Maxi's fell out with previous managers, hasn't he? Just around his attitude, and it's definitely an interesting one. It can go one or two ways, can't it? And now that I'm thinking about it, it might go the wrong way in terms of Maxi not fitting into his plans.
Well, you would hope that saying over the couple of years that he has been at the club, obviously he came with what we heard was plenty of baggage and rumours. We haven't saw any of that really. We were told he's a bad apple, he'll spoil the bunch and so on. But what we've seen both on and off the field, majority of the time from saying is completely the polar opposite to what we're warned about. So you'd think that we're sitting here saying, yeah, we've heard he's a bad trainer and things like that, but those sort of maverick players are bad trainers.
Yeah.
Of course, I think you've just got to let them get on with it and realise that even if you're shite in training, you're playing at the weekend.
I mean, we've sat here and talked about him, that he seems to have grown up a little bit and matured since he's came here, and you would hope that would continue. Everybody talks about Eddie Howe being a good man manager as well. So let's hope that he can, get that arm around the shoulder of Saint that he seems to like.
Yeah. No problem. Well, thank you very much, Liam. You got anything to add before I bring the next one in?
No, just great show, lads, every week. So keep it going.
Thank you very much, mate.
Cheers, Liam. Thanks for being my first caller as well.
No problem. See you later.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
Right. Shall we go straight on the next one, mate?
Yeah. It was exciting, isn't it?
That was new feature, mate. New feature. So next up we have Scott coming in.
Oh, we can see Scott as well. Look at him.
Hello, lads. You all right?
I'm turning him off. You all right, mate? How are you doing?
Not too bad. Not too bad. This is new, isn't it?
I know. It's
A new era.
It's a last minute idea that I had in the last 48 hours, and now this is it. This is it, mate. So, what's your thoughts, mate, on Eddie Howe? Happy?
I am, to be honest. Like, I think what everyone said, if you'd offered us Eddie Howe back in the start of the season, we would have ripped your arm off and beat you to death with it, to be fair. It'd be interesting to see what Eddie Howe would have been like under Ashley, because I think it's going to be totally different. You know, he's mentioned the day about the whole digitization of his play, and you know that's not going to happen with under Ashley. So I think he's going to have not just the budget for players, but the budget to build what he wants from like a backroom staff. And I think also you saw, I was watching an interview with him when he was talking about when he was doing his, when he was thrown into Bournemouth, and he was like, I was buying stuff out of my own pocket, and I was, if it was right for the team. And I think, he's not going to need to do that, and he's going to have the funds at his disposal.
Wasn't that?
I mean, it is back to the real thing, isn't it? Of, the fans should be chipping in. He's an example of what they did, but yeah, I'm really pleased. I think
down there, wasn't it? On the brink of them going bust and all that kind of thing. So I think it was very much a case of let's just do what we'll have to do to survive. And he does have to do that here in different circumstances. He's got to survive and keep winning the Premier League. But he is going to have a bit of budget, a bit of pocket money to do that. He's not going to be having to dig into the kids' piggy banks and get that out. So
I think it's important that he's been referring to himself as head coach as well. I think he realizes that, look, I'm not going to be dealing in the transfer window as much as maybe as I have done in the past. And there is a director of football coming in. It's interesting that he's referred to himself in
any managerial type coming in now. The way football is at the moment, I think it's such an old school approach. And yes, if I would love my manager to have full control of the playing squad and things, I'm bringing transfers in. But I think you just have to realise now that's never the case. It's very, very rare where you'll see that, especially because European football, somewhere we're aiming to be in the near future, hopefully, in regards to European spots. And we have to take that same model as well. And like you said, that Eddie Howe dressing himself as that, then that's only going to be a good thing. What I want to mention, though, is the same question as what we asked previously to Liam is, can you see any individual player fulfilling, can I get my words out?
Easy for you to say.
I know. Fulfilling their potential now under Eddie Howe, because we've seen a few players struggle, the likes of Lewis at left back and Fraser to a certain degree. Can you see anybody taking this, grabbing it by the bollocks basically and going forward?
I think you've mentioned the one I was going to say, and that's Jamal Lewis. I think he came to this club with quite a hefty price tag considering his age. There's a lot of expectation, and I don't think we were playing the right football for him to flourish. I think he'll be one of the ones who's like, right, this is my chance. I've been out the side pretty much all season. I don't think he's started much this season, if at all. I can't recall.
He might start in a cup, maybe if that, but I can't remember off the top of my head.
Well, the cup was that long ago now, wasn't it? I mean, one game in the cup.
It lasts very long.
But I think he will, and I also think Miggy. I think we saw flashes of Miggy's brilliance under Rafa, and Miggy needs to be coached. He needs to be guided. He's not getting that under Bruce. He was. I think Bruce was kicking the ball up in the air and going, right, lads, 5 aside. Put your jumpers down, goalposts, let's go. I think Miggy's going to really I think he's one of those players that was on the brink of leaving because of the managerial position in the situation. And I think that might U-turn quite drastically with him. And I think we'll see the best from Miggy.
Yeah.
I think Miggy's going to be one of the ones, just from what Howe's been saying about how he wants to play, take the game on the front foot. He wants to play with pace. And we know that's Miggy's big strength, is his pace and running at people. What then happens after that is sometimes a bit of a concern. So hopefully that is, the thing that they can help him with, get him doing a bit of shooting practice and final ball choice and things like that. So
yeah, Scott, there's a question just came in there, and it's just, if people do want to send questions in, we will go through them as well. There's a question in here about Joe Willock. basically saying looks like a shadow of the player he was last season. He's another one that you can look at thinking, was last season a flash in the pan? Is it similar to the Papi Cisse effect where he came in and scored a boatloads of goals?
He's never going to replicate what he did last year, is he?
Not.
I mean, there's no player in history that's gone through a hot streak like he did. So
Pappies.
I know, but he didn't even go as far as that, did he? I think it's a world record, or what was it?
It's a world record. Who?
Well, for goals in games,
Pappies must have scored more in that half of the season than what
back-to-back goals.
Did. Well, not back to back.
Aye, that's what I mean. So
I feel like Decker. Is this what Decker feels like?
No, it's not.
What's your thoughts on Willock then?
I mean, I think, when you said Willock was a shadow of the player he was last season, I think the entire team is a shadow of what it was when Willock came in last season. I think, the lads realised that they were in the shit basically, and Willock came in, he did what he needed to do because they had to play the way they had to play. I think the start of the season maybe is 2 steps backwards from where they were. The pre-season, I don't know what they were doing in pre-season, but the fitness levels in that squad are an absolute worry.
And
I think
it wasn't even involved in pre-season.
He wasn't even,
Time he came in.
He was pre-season with Arsenal, so I mean, he's probably come in thinking, right, what's going on? I don't think Willock is the start for centre midfield. I do think he works better as an impact sub, but I don't know. That's not what he's come here for. Like, he's come here to start games. He's come here to try and maybe break into that England squad if possible. But that's a different story.
I think the formation that we've been playing with though hasn't really suited Willock, has it? Like he wants to be breaking late into the box and stuff like that. So with us playing with the 5 at the back, we're then having to have a bit more of a hold in midfield, and we're almost just trying to fit players in. Whereas if you're doing that, ideally you wanting to play Willock up, higher on the pitch, and that means then you can't play Maxi where he's been playing like kind of in behind Wilson or most of the time up alongside of him. So it's trying to balance that, and again the way that Howell historically is like to set his teams up, you would think there was going to be more of an opportunity to Willock to come in and play in that type of role.
Yeah. Just to end it, Scott. Same question which I'm going to ask everybody tonight. Will we still be in the Premier League next season?
I think so. I think you notice what happens when a team drops into the bottom 3 is that the press just all immediately flip to you're in a relegation battle. It's like it's almost like the moment it happens, the flip switches, and that's what happens. We're 5 points behind at the minute. It's only 11 games in. We've had probably a decent run up. I do worry about December. I think that run up of fixtures isn't pleasing to anybody unless you're Man City, to be honest. So maybe in 5 years we'll be fine. But I think Eddie Howe's got enough to get a few wins under his belts in the next few games. I don't necessarily think we'll win the next game. I think Norwich is kind of the one where we'll get that first win. I think the players, it's too soon to expect anything drastic against Brentford, but I'd love to be proven wrong. I really hope I am proven wrong, if I'm being honest. But he's absolutely, I think, he said himself that's his one aim. That's the one thing that he's come to do. He's not making any promises, but that's what he's coming to do. So I think, absolutely give him the chance. I think we'll absolutely. Plus, we've got January transfer window, so who knows what comes in. It won't be another Andros Shelby and Andros Townsend, will it? Sorry?
I wouldn't mind an Andros Townsend kind of transfer, mind.
What of here?
I could do with one of them, definitely.
Is there anybody top of your list that you would like to see arrive in January?
I think Sewell from Bayern Munich. I said it in the Telegram chat as well. He's coming up to the end of his contract. He doesn't look like he's going to renew. I think Bayern will want rid. They don't want him to go on a free. The big question for him is, will he exchange Champions League football? I mean, you've been playing for Bayern. I don't know how much Champions League football actually matters to you anymore because you're in it pretty much every year as a given. It'd be nice maybe there's a new challenge. But I think we need to solidify that central defence and then look for a centre midfielder as well.
I like how you describe Champions League football to a relegation battle as a new challenge, mate. you made that sound like really like.
I mean, the two of them are very close in the pecking order of things, aren't they?
Champions League football.
Would you
relegation.
rather, go and play the cream of the crop in Europe or struggle at the bottom of the Premier League?
Norwich
Oh.
away.
Can you do it on a wet Wednesday night in Norwich?
Right, Scott, thank you very much, mate. It's been an absolute pleasure. Anything you want to add before you nip out?
No, just cheers, lads. Thanks for the opportunity.
That's no problem,
Cheers,
mate.
thanks, Scott.
Drop.
Thank you.
Some nice points there, hasn't it?
Yeah, I'm not convinced that somebody's going to leave like Champions League football for a relegation battle in January. Maybe in the summer, it's a different story. But I think January is a bit of a push. I think we're going to have to be not necessarily scraping the barrel, but we'll have to be very, very clever who we're buying in January.
Yeah, I think if a club that can offer him, solid top 6, 7, 8 of the Premier League, or potentially even in another country where they're at the top of their league, they're in the European positions, or they're still in Europe, whether that be Champions League or the Europa. He's probably more likely to look at them than us this season, I would have thought.
The show saying that he doesn't play for Bayern. Not even sure who. So
surely it is.
No, he mustn't. Does he get his game?
Oh, he's not getting a game.
Yeah.
Right. Sorry. Hi.
Yeah. So does he want to play on the bench in Champions League football, or does he? Right.
He might still get a medal, like just for turning up, like some of them do.
Right. We'll bring our next guest in, and we'll bring Mike in. Give us 2 seconds. Evening, Mike. How we doing, mate?
All good. You all right?
There he is.
Yeah. All well, mate. What's your thoughts, mate? Are you leaving a Champions League football team for relegation?
Well,
Possible relegation, sorry.
Probably not. But I think we should be going for people with Prem experience, like we have with Howe. I don't see why as you say, why someone would come from Bayern Munich to us at the minute. I think that you'd need to look at people like Tarkowski, Lingard, people who aren't playing regularly for their team, or people who know they could be with us and then upgrade in the future. We'll be getting higher, going higher up.
I think Lingard's a shout. Lingard's a name that I keep mentioning as well. And it's not just because he's not getting his game from Man U, but now is probably his last chance at a push to get in that England squad as well.
Yeah.
So he needs to go to a team that's going to give him a game time, basically, and a lot of game time.
And he knows what happens at West Ham when he went there last season as well. He had a fantastic, 5-6 months while he was there. So, and that really pushed them on. And he's got to be looking at that and thinking, if I can go somewhere where I'm going to get into the team, I'm going to get these chances. It's going to do his opportunity and his thought to get into the squads and progress from there. The world of good. He's just another one that I worry, would there be other teams interested in him? So, but I guess we're going to have that with everyone. If you wanting to attract them higher level or attractive players, then they're going to have competition.
Yeah, Mike. One of the things which we saw today, I think it was, is that apparently the Premier League clubs are so against the Newcastle United takeover that they've made a little pact between each other where they're not going to be selling their players to Newcastle United. Is that a load of shite?
I think so. I think so. Money talks at the end of the day, doesn't it? And if there's player power, the amount of, if a player wants to go, the player will get what he wants at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's a good shout, to be fair. Like, we've seen it
as soon as the agents get involved, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
So I'll ask you the same question, mate. Players that are going to blossom on it anyhow. Is there anybody that we haven't mentioned so far that comes to mind?
Well, I had in my head Lewis, to be fair, but he's got to get on the pitch first, hasn't he?
True.
If Richie's Howe's mate, will he keep playing him as he is, or would he want to push him up the field?
Yeah, Howe knows Richie's not a left back though, doesn't he?
Well, yeah. I mean, I
think
quite like
he'd be utilising him in a more recognised position for him. I think Richie's just been almost pigeonholed into that because he went there and filled in last season, did reasonably well, and then he's kind of just been stuck there since. Because obviously Dummett's been injured the whole time, and Lewis just seems to have disappeared.
Yeah. I mean, another one as well. I know I keep saying it's the last chance. I've given up on him. He's useless, but maybe Joe Linton again. Maybe.
I will not be having this Joe Linton slander, mind.
No, I know.
Come on.
Useless
is reserved for people like John Joe Shelby.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. I watched the game on Saturday in a pub in Cardiff where they were watching the rugby, and I had it on my phone the game, and I tore the house down was shouting at Shelby with that free kick. Mind, I was absolutely raging with him.
I think it's one of the worst things I've seen a Newcastle United player do, and there's been a lot.
That's a bold statement.
There's been a lot of things, but that was absolutely diabolical.
Up on it either, like surely you're gonna go. There's someone there who doesn't know what he's doing in goal. Have a dig, but
no, you're right, mate. Just to wrap it up once again, will Newcastle United be safe this season?
Comfortably.
Oh, shit! That's the confidence I like to hear. Comfortably.
11th.
Okay,
11th.
I think
Jesus.
I think that's the highest that we've had so far.
Have you been drinking?
No, not yet. Not yet.
Well, mate, hopefully you're right. 11th. I think everybody's
That'd be lovely, that, wouldn't it? Yeah.
At 11th, I think most people are snatching it at 17th. To be fair, no.
What did you say the other night?
15th, I think.
15th. Was it Bestie that said like 12th or 13th or something?
I think he had been drinking as well, to be fair. Right, Mike, thank you very much for joining me tonight. It's been a pleasure.
Cheers.
Anything you want to add before you go?
No, just enjoying the show. Enjoy everything you're doing at the minute. Keep it going. And I'll be joining you in the future, definitely.
Thank you very
much,
Mike.
Cheers.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm going to bring another Newcastle United podcaster in now.
Oh.
Because I know...
Is it one I like?
Probably not.
No.
I know.
Bit of a pressure here now, then, isn't it?
He's a busy man, so we'll bring him on. It's the True Geordie. It's not. It's not. Hi, Matty. How are you doing, mate?
I don't like you either, Mark. It's Harry.
That's Matty, man. I like Matty.
Good. Aye, good.
So Matty just came straight off a live stream.
What
was that about, Matty?
Reacting to Howe's press conference today, pretty much.
You do realise we shouldn't be starting these things at the same time, don't you?
Oh, no, mate. Well, more of a heads up from you. When did you message us? About 20 minutes before you went on.
Our viewers have just gone up by 100 since you finished, mate.
Sorry, mate. Next time, a bit more dialogue, yeah?
So, I know you've only just done the live stream that you've just done over on the Magpie channel there. We'll put the link in the description afterwards. What's your thoughts, mate? Are you as happy as everybody else? Because everybody seems buzzing at the minute.
I am, to be honest. After last week, with when Emery was close and everything, the Howe thing felt a bit underwhelming at first. But I said at the same time, it could be very shrewd. It probably suits us. It is what we need right now. I mean, would you want? Well, I would, but a Europa League winner coming into a relegation battle, or Eddie Howe, who survived 4 out of 5 seasons in a relegation battle. So for me, Eddie Howe makes sense. I mean, the rebuild job he did at Bournemouth was massive and gets slept on. It gets slept on so much, and him being manager of the decade in 2015. Bournemouth were months away from being liquidated when he took over.
They're in the pits.
Taking them to the Premier League, keeping them up, playing attractive football. I'm excited now once we knew it was close and we started looking at Eddie Howe videos on YouTube. That's when I started getting excited. When we knew that we're going to have a coach who actually coaches, who actually does tactics, who knows what he's talking about and has a philosophy, that's when I started getting excited. And he spoke so well today.
Even the bit about just moving. Like how excited did I get when I said still. Don't stand still? I mean, it's mind blowing.
Matty, just a question there though. Did you also watch the Villarreal game?
I did.
Everybody watched it.
I know. What a fucking waste of time that was.
It wasn't even a good game.
No, it was a dead game.
It's something which we get sucked into all the time as Newcastle United fans, don't you? We'll have a bit of a crumb and we'll make a huge meal out of that 1 crumb.
But it's that word, isn't it? It's the hope.
Yeah. So, are you as confident as Mike, who was just on there, who thinks we're comfortably going to stay up this season?
I don't know about that. Like, I just tuned in and I seen these. What do you say we're going to finish? 11th?
11th, yeah.
Wow, I'd be absolutely delighted with that, mind. I mean, I'd take 17th for me. I'd snap your fucking hand off for 17th. I mean,
yeah.
I do think we'll stay up. I am positive that we'll stay up. I mean, there's huge pressure on how already now, like this next 4 or 5 fixtures is massive. Because even he mentioned today the deadly December fixtures, the lifting Christmas schedule we've got. So it's important that we get off a good start. I think we will. I mean, that Burnley and Norwich, them games in the space of a few days at home, we're already 5 points adrift. So if things don't go well in his first few games, it could be looking bleak. But I'm being optimistic. I'm going to be positive. The early work we've seen on the training ground, I think he'll do enough to keep up. And then we've got the cushion of January to come. We just need to make sure we're still in the mix. Around then.
Are you expecting changes straight away in regards to playing styles? So obviously we've got Brentford up next. Are you expecting big changes coming? Big changes to the likes of the playing squad? Because we've got a few players away. There's a lot of people demanding Dubravka comes back in. Dubravka's away in national duty. Miggy's away. There's another one who hasn't had much game time. So there's a few players there that people are begging to come back in that starting lineup. I think Lewis will probably be away as well.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. Him, Kraft, Shea, Hendrick.
So there's a few, mate, where there's just a couple of players where both me and you, Mark, that will want at least Fabian to come back in and Dubravka for me as well. Can you see those changes happening straight away, mate?
I think the good thing that we can expect straight away is not 5 at the back, and that's enough for me. That's a start for me, because we'll be seeing the 4-4-2 or the 4-4-1-1. So that's a positive start. We're going to obviously see pressing. We're going to obviously see trying to move up from defence to midfield to attack instead of just Darlow booting it into the east stand. So that's going to be a bonus. It is a shame that Shaw and Dubravka and that are on international duty and he can't work with them, but it's not going to happen overnight. Like, we're not going to be playing high intensity, entertaining football next week against Brentford. That's going to take months and months, if not a year. But what we can see is a team that's going to graft more, that's going to be on the front foot more, and try and score goals, get bodies in the box. You know how much he likes the overlaps to create chances, get bodies in the box to score goals. So it's going to be a huge improvement on Brucey Ball. I mean, anything would have to be fair, but
which player do you think is going to blossom on Eddie Howe?
Joe Willock and Jamal Lewis.
I think
Jamal's coming in for a lot of love tonight, isn't he?
I think those do. No mention of Ryan Fraser. There's a lot of people avoiding Ryan Fraser, who's been a bit of trouble apparently with Scotland. They're not happy that he's been training with his parent club.
Is he? Someone said on my stream last night he was injured though. Is he not injured at the minute? No,
he pulled out the Scottish squad. Yeah, he pulled out, said he wasn't going to go away. Then he trained with Newcastle 4 days later. And Scotland aren't happy about it.
Kissing up the Howe, isn't he? Kissing up the Howe after the fallout from last time. Wee man.
It's normally the other way around, isn't it? Where he disappears off to Scotland, plays for them, and then he comes back injured. So it's a bit of a role reversal. And hopefully he's committing to actually wanting to play and do well for the club as opposed to buggering off at every opportunity to go and play for Scotland. So, but just on the subject of the players that are away on international duty, the one thing, Matty, that came through from me, and we mentioned it on Monday on the podcast, was that during the interview process and stuff like that, Eddie Howe came out and said he knew a lot about our players. He knew what their strengths were, what the weaknesses were. So I'm not as worried about the fact that they're away and he's not being able to look at them, because I think he's already got that idea of what they're capable of doing and how we could adapt them into the squad and stuff like that. So did that fill you with a bit of confidence? Definitely.
I think he's already going to be planning the likes of Shaw to come back in the team and Dubravka, because of the way he likes to play. Just look at what he did with Nathan Ake. You know what I mean? That's the type of centre-back that he's going to want. And it's mad how much he's already digressed about how much he's watched Newcastle. He said during COVID, he even watched with loads. So I don't know why. Don't know why he was doing that.
Been awful.
I know.
must have completed Netflix like the rest of it and just been, oh, well, here's Newcastle playing the night, we'll stick that on. Nothing else going on. I don't know why you'd put yourself through Brucey Boy if you weren't a
He's
fan.
dedicated, if nothing else, isn't he?
It's unreal. It's unreal how dedicated he is and his hard work. But he'll what was good is in his interview, he said with Stavely that he'd already planned about how to improve, where we could improve, where we're going wrong. So he's already got loads highlighted and he's already getting touched in the base with that already. So I'm looking forward to it. Man. It's going to be so nice watching a team that is actually going to try and play football.
Yeah. Thanks very much, mate. You're up next week, mate. So I'll catch up with you next week.
Aye, 100%.
Mate.
See you there.
After the match.
Absolutely, and before. See you before.
I'll see you all week, mate.
We might even invite you in here. You know, since your pal's been in.
I'll bring me tent. I'll just sleep in your studio, Chris. Is that
Hey, there's a palatial. You can go and sleep in the left wing, just out of shot there.
Aye, sound. I'll be there, lads. Don't worry.
Right, cheers, mate. I'll be in touch. I'll see you next week.
Nice one. Cheers,
Matty.
Cheers, pal.
Sure.
Always nice to hear from Matty.
He's good lad, Matty. He's still there. We'll start slagging him off in a minute. Shall we just go straight to the next one?
Yeah, who we got next?
Well, I think Callum Lewis was waiting, but he's disappeared, so I'm guessing he's had to go and do something.
He might have got hungry, went to make his tea or something like that.
So it is getting. It's tea time.
Tea time.
How many teas you had today so far?
None, because it's only just tea time.
Shane is here waiting to come on, so let's bring
Saunders.
Shane on. It is. Hi, Shane. How you doing, mate?
Hey, lads. All right?
I'm not bad. Yourself?
Yeah, doing okay.
All the way from the Emerald Isle.
All the way from the Emerald Isle, yeah, full of potatoes.
Did you just get more Irish there?
Potato.
He started sipping on a pint of Guinness as soon as I mentioned it, didn't he?
My blood's made of him, buddy. My blood is made of it.
So I'm going to start off with a question. We've not been end on this, but Newcastle United season, is it going to end with us in the Premier League?
Yeah, I mean, 11th would be his dreamland. I mean, that's delusional. I mean, we're delusional Geordies, apparently, you know, that type of thing. But I think, in terms of where we end up, Howe, I think, has to get, you know, a mini table in mind. Anywhere from 17th to 14th is a table you have to kind of look at. It's like our own mini league table. If you can get anywhere in between that, you'd be laughing. But I'll take 17th right now.
It's something which Rafa used to mention quite. Oh shit! What time is it? How long? 37 minutes.
We've done well, haven't we?
Rafa used to mention the mini league.
Yeah,
quite a lot, didn't he? Said you had to finish top and win those games around you. And like Matty just said, we've got 2 decent home games coming up.
Well, the next 4 games, when you look at them, I think I said I'd be looking to take a minimum of 7 from them. So it's a great opportunity for them to get a few pints. Definitely get a few pints and get a few points as well. Get on the board and just get we're going. The only downside is obviously Norwich have sacked their manager, so if they bring somebody in, maybe they get a bit of a bounce from that as well. Villa have obviously got rid of theirs, so lots and rumours that Gerrard's going there. So apparently that's very close. So
is it?
Apparently, yeah. That's talking to his backroom staff and stuff.
We were
like
very
that.
close to Fonseca and Emery.
Yeah, well, funnily enough, Rangers said they haven't been approached and they know nothing about it. So it sounds very similar to the Emery situation.
It's very similar. So Shane, that Brentford game coming up. What's your expectations for that one? Are you going to be disheartened if we don't take all 3 points?
Disheartened? No. I mean, you kind of want to see. Look, you have to take into account international break. Some players won't be there. Key players won't be there, obviously, because they're international players and they're obviously good enough to play for an international country. But what I kind of want to see, I won't be disheartened. I kind of just want to see a bit of a change. You know, you look at Howe's training video, all 20 seconds, and you're frothing from the mouth because, you know, it might be basic stuff, but you're looking at the last 2 years. The basics have been basically bashed out with that team for the last 2 years. If the basics is running around and getting on the ball and passing the ball around 5 yards and running and closing down space, then that's improvement to me. I'll happy with a point. I don't care if we lose the game. I just want to see that, an improvement in that.
Yeah, but I think to be fair, if we lose that game, it's not great for us, especially with Eddie Howe's first game. Like,
I mean, they haven't been playing particularly well of late. They've had a run of disappointing results. So you think, maybe has their bubble burst. You always tend to find that a team always seems to rediscover the form against Newcastle, but we have got the added benefit of it being Ed's first game, and the crowd's going to be well behind. Everybody's going to be wanting right up for it. So you'd think that, providing that the players don't get carried away with the occasion, which we've seen happen in the past, then I'd be wanting us to win that game. But you've got to draw it just to keep us in touch with those around with.
I mean, you kind of have to look at. I mean, on paper, you would think that it's the most winnable, not the most winnable game, but you think on paper everything will go for us. Brentford not having a great time of it, and all the rest of it. You think that now, with regards to how we have now a new manager bounce, we haven't had one of them for ages. Like even Rafa didn't win the first game against Leicester that time.
We definitely didn't have one of them when Bruce came in.
Well, we had something with him, all right. Yeah, certainly bounced and kept bouncing down. But very much so at the cricket and all, living the dream, Poor man, poor fella. But in terms of how I don't think any stone's going to go unturned here. I think I mean, like I said, I wouldn't be disappointed. If we didn't win the game, just don't lose it. A win would be absolutely amazing. Amazing it would be.
Is there any player that you can see once again blossom under Eddie Howe? Is Joe Linton going to come good?
I was actually going to mention him. Yeah, I think he can. I mean, there's not a 40 million player in there. There's some sort of player in there. I mean, you've only to kind of look, I suppose, the ball he played in for Wilson at the weekend against Brighton. There's something there. Like if you can get kind of eke out the best in him, if you possibly can, play him in the right role for a start to be, good. But just as an out-and-out striker, you're not going to get the best out of him because he can't score goals. Obviously, it's proven. He can't score goals. But if you have him playing left wing, just as someone who, can break up a play or take the ball and maybe hold it up a little bit to bring players in, yes, I think we could possibly see the best out of him. Are we going to see an amazing player? Are we going to get the return on him? No, but we could get a decent player out of him.
I think most Newcastle fans, I think we all have to understand that he's never going to be that £40 million player.
No, never.
And we need to stop really criticising because of that price tag. Because once again, it's not his fault.
It weighs around his neck like an anchor, doesn't it? It's the first thing that anybody mentions is his record signing. Even the press go on about it, commentators go on about it. So I think he'd probably be used to it now and just kind of come a little bit numb to it and ignore it. But I think it'll be interesting to see whether or not how we'll utilise him as a two with Wilson. Whether that's like just been saying, there's just off Wilson, hold it up, playing him in and stuff like that. Because
I've seen that in the past.
And that's it. When those two have played together in that kind of role, they've done well. So and if we're getting the ball down on the floor and playing football, it may come more into his strengths better than just hoofing it up to him and trying him to win a header or bring it down on his chest and stuff like that.
Yeah. Anything to add, Shane, before we go?
No, you're good. Listen, thanks very much for having me on, and keep doing what you're doing, enjoying the content.
Cheers, mate. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your night, bud.
Have a good night.
Right, so we will bring Callum Lewis in now.
Has he been for his tea?
He's had his tea. He's came back. So, Adam, evening, Callum. How you doing, mate?
Hello, Callum. Come in, Callum. We've got a satellite delay.
We haven't got any delay. We're going to hear him.
Lads?
Can you hear
there
him,
he
mate?
Is.
How's it going?
He promised so much, didn't he? He's back.
Try again now, Callum.
Well, we always had to have a bit of teething problems with one, didn't we?
Yeah.
Maybe he got a bit shy.
We'll try and come back to Callum in a minute. Daryl's here.
Daryl's always
here. Hi, Daryl.
How
are you doing, mate?
Doesn't matter what day it is. Daryl's always here.
So, Daryl, you met somebody very special this week, didn't you, mate?
I did, and anybody who's watching who follows us on Twitter will have seen that yesterday I met.
Are you
couple
plugging
on the
your
desk.
Twitter
So
account?
you see that straight in with if you follow me on Twitter at Daryl M.
Yeah, so I met the couple on the desk there. Met Amanda and my dad.
First name
What
terms.
can I say? They were really lovely people. Privileged that they were able to give us 10 minutes of that time to sit down and have a little chat with them while I was pottering around at work. And
So everybody that's came across
on,
the
mate.
path with a couple, they speak very highly of them, and it seems like they've got a lot of time for Newcastle United fans.
I think they appreciate the position
absolutely.
that they're in, don't they? I shared in the group the other day, there was a time hop memory popped up from 4 years ago, and we had a picture of Amanda Staveley on the desk.
Yeah.
So that just shows you how long she's been kind of hanging around with the club and stuff like that. And obviously we know Mia Dad's on Twitter and Instagram and stuff like that, and has interacted with the fans and stuff like that on there. So I think he gets how important it is. He knows the relationship we've had in the past with the ex-owner and the board there, and it's something that they really seem to have bought into is having that relationship. And Daryl, you've backed that up by your first impressions of them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. What can I say? I think if anybody gets the opportunity to meet them in person, they'll get the same impression that I got. They're really humble people. The first thing I said to them was thank you, and they were like, "Oh no, thank you. Thanks for all of your support during all of this." And it's like you get the impression they absolutely know how big of a job that they've got on, taking us on as a club.
Mm-hmm.
The way that the club obviously was left after Mike Ashley left, in terms of just being a skeleton with hardly any meat on the bones, and they're pretty much having to implement the whole structure from scratch. And I think they'll get to the point where they've established this structure where it'll make the decision-making process fluid. And once we reach that point, I think we'll just start firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, hope so. I think that's the kind of the next steps, isn't it? Is the talk of the director of football, and then we need to understand what the makeup of the board is going to be. Who's going to be taking what roles, how it's going to be shaped, and go from there. And it's certainly an exciting time to be involved with it. It's just nice to have them there being involved in everything. The fact that they were at the foundation last night, that was brilliant. They're there supporting that, because I can't remember ever seeing Ashley there unless it was in the very early days. Charlie probably was involved in some of them, but they were there front and center. They were there again today when I was doing his presser and stuff like that. So they just seem to be really, really taking an interest and wanting to be fully involved in everything that's going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Daryl.
Yes, mate.
We'll end on this one. One player that you want to see come back in the team.
Back into the team.
Yes.
Shea.
Fabian?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good shout. Good shout. No, Fetty?
Well, Fetty as well. You get them both in.
No, you get one.
You had your one chance, Daryl.
Well,
you went for
I'll
Shea.
take Shea then, because I know he can play a ball.
Are people getting... I mean, we talk about this quite often on the pod, don't we? Are people getting that thought that they get when people don't play for a while and they remember them being better than they were?
Who are you talking about?
Shea.
Piss off.
No, but like we always... There's been loads and loads of opportunities where we've said he's a bit of a liability. He always looks like he's going to get booked. And
I'm not judging any player that's played on a Steve Bruce any longer. I'm giving them all a fresh slate.
But he did it under...
Apart from John Joe Shelby.
He did it under Rafa as well. I'm just putting an alternative view out there.
Fabian was playing some decent football under Rafa.
Oh, yeah.
He was at times. Yeah.
Right.
But equally, there was times where he wasn't great.
Fucking, you talking shit.
I'm just an alternative view. It's just that thing where some, like, as I say, we've talked about it plenty of times with other players where you think,
Who you bringing in?
do you? Fetty, 100%.
Oh, okay, I agree.
Yeah, you know I love Fetty.
I agree, mate. Thanks, Daryl. Daryl, I'm
No
going to
worries,
stay up.
guys. Cheers.
Hello, Daryl. Are we staying up?
What's
we
he
staying
got?
up?
Daryl's gone. No,
Yeah,
he's
what's
still there.
Did you just walk away from your phone there?
He's
Pretty
gone.
much, aye.
Right, we're not staying up.
We're staying up. No, we're staying up. Where are you?
We're staying up. Okay, thanks, mate.
How
Cheers,
confident are you?
You're doing it again, man. Stop asking us questions when we're leaving.
Where you
More
going?
confident now that Eddie's here.
Daryl's like halfway out of his door, getting his shoes on and his coat on the lot, isn't he? I'm away out, lads.
Right, go and enjoy your evening, Daryl.
Cheers.
Thanks, Daryl.
Oh, Daryl, bye. No, I'm joking.
Daryl, just a minute.
Right,
I wonder where Daryl's going.
straight in the next one.
Let's do it.
Going in that 10 minutes. Let's bring Katie in.
Katie.
Katie. Hi, Katie.
Hi.
How are you
There
doing?
she is.
I'm well excited. Like I'm
Why?
proper, like over the moon excited.
Katie's
just-
finally made it on to the Gallowgateshots YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, I'm not excited about that. I'm just
What?
excited about the
Right, get her off. Get her off.
Cheers.
I'm just literally fangirling all over Eddie Howe. All I've
Oh, I
done
thought you were
is just
gonna say
watch
us.
video after video after video. I fangirl after you all the time, so don't worry about that.
Yeah,
But yeah,
it's been a
I'm just
breath of
excited.
fresh air, hasn't it? Seen Eddie Howe. He's been absolutely unreal. The videos, I think everybody just absolutely dominated YouTube over the last couple of days about Eddie Howe videos, playing with counters,
I think I've
being mic'd
completed YouTube Eddie Howe videos.
clocked.
Clocked
I've
it.
honestly, I've learned so much about Bournemouth from like just watching videos. That's
Yeah,
all I've been
and-
doing.
Every single Bournemouth fan speaking really highly
Yeah.
of Eddie. Of course they're going to. Of course they're going to.
What's got you so excited, Katie?
It's because it's different. I actually feel hope. I feel hope, and I
Hope.
know that it's not going to be a case of we're going to be mint. Like we're not going to be mint this season at all. It's going to take time, but it actually feels like there's actual light at the end of the tunnel, as opposed to the whole it'll just be the same shit every season. So I'm just so excited.
I think
It's great,
everybody is,
isn't it?
aren't they? Everybody is. When you next up? Because you were there for the last home game, weren't you?
Yeah, I was there for Spurs. I'm hoping to come up December, maybe for is it City on the
You got Man
19th? or
City on the
maybe-
19th.
City's the 19th
19th
of December. It's our Christmas night out.
I'm hoping to come up for that one. If I can get up before, I'll come up. I will come up before, but
Well,
that's
yeah,
my next
it's our
goal.
Christmas night out, apparently.
It is. You know it.
So,
You know it's for Christmas night
Yeah.
out.
we're going karaoke.
We're going karaoke in. Yeah. Later on.
That sounds
so-
exciting.
I'll ask you the question as well. So, which player do you want to see come back to this team?
Freddy,
Freddy?
I could have
Freddy,
told you that.
Freddy. It's been all over my Twitter, like literally.
Are you plugging your Twitter as well, like Daryl?
Oh, hey. Mind, I tell you what, you've been in overdrive on Twitter the last couple of days, haven't you? It's been lovely to see the excitement you've got back.
I think we've got another one with dodgy Wi-Fi.
It's that Blackpoolian Wi-Fi issue.
Yeah.
Too many seagulls.
Sorry, Katie, but I think your Wi-Fi is gone. Thank you very much for coming on.
Yeah, I'll come back.
Oh, she's back.
Oh, she's
There
back.
she is. She's
Oh,
She's
hi.
got me back. Yeah, I've just kicked my Wi-Fi off. Sorry.
All right, okay.
I was getting too
I can't
excited
remember
about
what
Freddy.
I asked you last.
You asked us about Freddy.
Oh, yeah, you're plugging
so
your
Freddy,
Twitter.
Definitely. All over.
Yeah, she was plugging her Twitter, and I said it was nice to see her so excited on Twitter the last few days. Everything's
Yeah, as opposed
been
to
very, very
normal
positive.
As opposed to my miserable self getting pissed off with every single thing to do with the club possible.
I think
I'm
that's
literally
been-
getting excited about washing, and the fact that exactly what you said before, the fact that we now have a manager that says that standing still is not good
Yeah.
enough.
It's madness that gets us so carried away, isn't it?
Yeah, but obviously what we're mainly obviously talking about all the time is getting Mbappe and basically signing a whole club. We could just sign clubs. That's all we're asked about.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's we've had many a podcast playing our fantasy Premier League teams on a Monday night. We haven't.
What are you doing?
I'm stretching my leg, if that's all right. I'm getting excited about washing windows and having speed and movement, and not that kind of speed, like speed on the training ground and pitch and stuff.
All right, okay. I
Just to
think
be clear.
everybody got it, mate. To be
Yeah.
fair. Thank you, Katie. Thank you very much for coming out tonight.
It's all right. I'll see you later.
Watch what you're
Katie.
doing. Fix your
Bye.
Wi-Fi for next time.
Will do. See you later.
Ta-ra. Right, let's try and bring Callum Lewis back in. Let's see if he's sorted his audio. Hi, Callum.
Is Callum's Wi-Fi working now? I hear
Hello,
a noise. There he is. Callum has a
Hello?
voice.
How are you doing, mate? You all right?
How are we doing?
I'm all right. I'm doing all right, mate.
Are you excited about Eddie Howe?
Oh, I'm over the move for Eddie Howe, like.
I bet you cannot wait to get to see what he can do on the pitch when we're back against Brentford.
I think you'll do outstanding against Brentford.
Do you think we'll get all 3 points?
I think 50-50.
50 points.
50 points. So you're thinking we're either going to win it or we're going to draw. You can't say we're losing.
Well, I'd like to win, like.
Yeah, well, I think we need it right now, don't we? We need all 3 points, Mark. I think we're looking at it and thinking, draw, great, but you definitely, in fact, you need all 3 points.
We need 3 points. Oh, we're going to get the 3 points, Callum.
Yeah.
We'll take it. We'll take it. Is there one player that you would like to see come back into the team?
I think Joe Linton. I think Eddie Howe fixed Joe Linton, like he fixed Josh King.
Yeah, good shout.
There was a comment earlier. Somebody saying that Eddie Howe may use Julian in the same sort of role that Josh King was. I can probably see Jordan having a big impact coming off the bench. I don't think he's going to be starting, to be honest with you, because it means that you're going to have Saint's not going to come out of that team. And I think that Almiron's got a huge chance of getting back into that team really now. Even Joe Willock is another one. So it's going to be very hard for Joe to get back in the team.
If you're going to have that, if you're going to have that kind of supporting role, whether that's classed as a 10 or maybe a little bit further forward than that, you are looking at those that you've just mentioned, Miggy and Willock, are the two more attacking midfielders that would go in there. And then if you're wanting it as more of a deeper second striker, then you are looking at Joe Linton. But a lot of the training that we've seen yesterday, Gale was all over that, wasn't he? So,
yeah. So if you've got to put a prediction on it now, me, Callum, what position were you going to finish in?
Around 16th or 17th.
16th, 17th?
I'll take either. Are you the same, Mark?
We both said 15, I think, didn't we? If where we thought we'd finish. But that's the important thing is staying up, isn't it? And just as long as you're in that, 17th, anywhere up to 13th, 14th, in that bottom half of the table, you're assuring yourself of Premier League football next season, and then it gives you something to build on, somewhere to go from there, and that's the most important thing, isn't it? So survival is the key thing. And Callum, you obviously think we're going to stay up if we're finishing 17th. How confident are you?
Just to add, I think Eddie Howe is a good he's a very good coach. He's not a soft coach. He's a
No, I think you're right. He's going to have the players working hard. We've seen it just in that first training video that they're going to be grafting the arse off. And like we've said so many times on this podcast, he's not letting players stand still.
Yeah.
So if he's not letting them stand still in training, they're not going to be stand still during a game.
Eddie holds a different. He's a different ball game. He's a smart coach. Like he knows what he's doing. He's a man job to do.
Yeah,
Something-
he's
something new.
cut from a different cloth to what Steve Bruce is.
Something new. And you can tell that by look how hard Richie works.
Yeah, no, you're right, mate.
Richie impressed in the beep test. I think he was the only one still going at the end. Like I think he was on level 14, and he looked like he was just out for a little Sunday afternoon jog.
They could have easily made a YouTube video out of that, like a full YouTube video of the bleep test.
It would have been funny, wouldn't it?
It would have been way
seeing who gets knocked out first, who's thrown up.
Shall we do all Smiling Faces podcast?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
What's that, mate?
With Darlow and I threw in the film video.
Yeah, so the photos as well. Yeah. Thanks, Callum. We're gonna have to call it a night because we've been going for an hour now. But thank you very much for joining us.
Cheers, lads.
Cheers, Callum.
Cheers, mate.
Hey, that hours flew by, hasn't it?
Yeah, there's a show for Mark versus Decker bleep test. Decker's winning that.
Decker's winning that. I don't know how, since all he does is eat, constantly eats shit. Doesn't he? He's like the skinniest fat man in the world.
He's got a canny metabolism,
He must have an amazing metabolism.
It'll get you soon, though, Decker. I used to be like that, mate. Seeing that he's 40, so it's not gonna hasn't caught up with him yet. But yeah, thanks everybody who has joined in tonight. There's been haven't really struggled for people coming on tonight, mate.
It's been good fun, hasn't it?
It's been great. I just do want to let everybody know the majority of people who have came on tonight have been members of the Gallowgateshots YouTube channel. With that subscription, you get access to our very own Telegram Messenger group. That's where the link got put tonight. All you had to do is click on the link and you got to come on and have a chat with us. Of course, we had a couple of friends in there. We had Matty coming on, I had Katie coming on, who probably should subscribe to be members as well.
I mean, it would be daft of them not to.
Matty's raking it in. I've seen his views. He's absolutely raking it in. But yeah, mate. Anything that you want to add?
No, it's just nice to be positive. And like two podcasts in a week where we're happy and we actually have got smiling faces, talking about Newcastle and being excited about the future.
I know. I was hoping to get another guest on, but I'm not sure if I'm going to make it. So just fill some time for 2 minutes, Mark.
Fill some time. What should I do? Sing a song or something like that? Maybe start doing a beep test backwards and forwards across the room. So, no, but the interview today with Eddie Howe just was fantastic to see, wasn't it?
Yeah, you can't stop filling time now.
I was actually going to make a point there, but go on. Time has been suitably filled.
So our last guest of the night, he's another one who made it on the Newcastle United social media account.
Josh.
It's Josh.
What a guess that was, eh?
How you doing, Josh?
I'm good. How are you boys?
I'm good, mate.
Yeah, he is. It's the Cockney Magpie. Look, I'm plugging his bloody Twitter for him.
That's not my proper
mate.
Twitter.
Obviously, you were at the Newcastle United Foundation dinner last night. You kept that a secret. I'll tell you that. I didn't see that anyway.
I did. I was told not to share it.
It's not like you, mate, to keep things to yourself.
I know. I've known a while as well, so it's been a bit tough.
Did you know you were getting the award, or did you know you were going?
I knew I was getting an award.
Right.
I didn't know I was getting the main award.
The award, yeah.
The award, yeah, and I certainly didn't know I was getting it presented by those two.
Yeah, not just that, babe, but you got to meet Demba Ba as well.
Demba Ba, superstar.
What
a nice bloke, honestly, absolute legend. He was so lovely.
Oh, I'm glad you said that.
I know. I would have been absolutely devastated if you had went. He's a bit of a prick.
He's very affectionate, you know.
Did he give you hugs?
Hugs when we were getting a picture taken. He's rubbing my back and everything. It was lovely.
Oh,
I want to have
I'm jealous.
My back.
I'm jealous.
What was it like being up there amongst everyone?
Can we just cut him off? I'm too jealous now. Oh, God.
There's quite a few there, wasn't it? Obviously, Shea was there as well. Was any of the current
Stephen Taylor was there, wasn't he?
Do you know what? The current team weren't allowed to be there because the Premier League rules around COVID. There was a nice message from Jamal Lascelles, which was nice for everyone to see. Sort of congratulated everyone.
Yeah.
But all the players that were there were great.
Yeah. So who was
All the
there? I've
players that were
definitely
there
seen
were fantastic.
Shea Given and Stephen Taylor, Demba, Shola, I think.
Shola was there, Harps was there, and Ollie Bernard was there.
Can he little lineup?
That's a
Yeah, it weren't
decent
bad.
five-a-side team, isn't it? Two
Some
keepers,
good
like one
haircuts
of them would
around
have
as
to
well.
play outfield.
Harper used to play as a striker.
He did, yeah.
He did. Didn't he play
There you
against Celtic? Was it against Celtic he come on as a
Can't
striker?
remember. I think he did not come through the academy as a striker. I think they changed him later on.
I reckon Shea Given would make a decent sweeper. If we put Harper in goal and have Shea playing as a sweeper.
What was like being on stage with the new owners in Newcastle United?
It was daunting. It was good though. They were so lovely. I'll absolutely give them Amanda is an amazing woman. Like, she is so friendly, and she was so welcoming, and she was amazing. I don't want to share what she said to me because it was it was personal, but she was so nice, and the way she came across is brilliant. She's just got the best intentions for this club, and you can tell that she wants the club to go forward. And the stuff she said last night, it shows you how much she loves us. Yeah.
Did she get up and address everybody in the room at any point?
She didn't. Only during my award giving, she sort of had a little speech and then turned it straight back round to me, which was nice.
I suppose the night wasn't necessarily for Newcastle United Football Club. It was more about the foundation and work that they achieve. And Josh, obviously, everybody that recognises your face and knows who you are. You've been on this channel a couple of times to speak about the big game changer campaign, and it's something which hopefully I'll be able to speak for Mark here as well. And the work which you do behind the scenes, mate, and everything you do and publish on Twitter, it's absolutely fantastic. And obviously, like I said, that we done the podcast at St. James's Park, which the feedback that both myself and you had on that one, mate, was absolutely fantastic. And I just wanted to congratulate you, mate, on the award. And it's honestly, mate, it's thoroughly deserved.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Second that 100%.
Thank you. It means a lot. Like, I when I was told I was getting it, I sort of said, I haven't done anything really. But
you have, mate.
It's just an amazing achievement. I'm really proud. The fact it's come from my club and it's come to me, I'm just really proud to achieve it. And I hope I can carry it on into the future. The campaign's such a massive part of my life now. And I'm hoping we can just continue to spread the awareness and make people aware of what is out there and use the power of the badge to sort of get people more involved and get men opening up. That's the main aspect of the whole thing. Yeah.
No, you're right, mate. You're right, mate. And like I said, I know personally firsthand that how much the likes of the work that yourself do and the foundation and the big game changer do. It doesn't go unnoticed, as you realised last night, mate.
Yeah, no, it was brilliant. It was amazing. An amazing night, to be fair. The foundation did such a good job.
Yeah. Right, mate, we're going to have to go because I said we're going for an hour. We'll manage to squeeze it in at the end.
No worries,
thank you
lads.
very much, mate.
Yeah,
and once again,
John.
congratulations.
Thank you, boys. See you soon.
What are you doing, bud?
See you soon.
Take care.
Right, Mark. We better get going. It's tea time.
I know. I've got somewhere to be at 7:30.
Oh, where you going?
Pilates.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm making it up. It's just the first thing that popped into my mind.
Thank you, everybody. People that are on the chat, the code for the Telegram group, it is on the community page when you become a member. So if you go on YouTube community page, it's on there. I will post it as well after we'll stop recording, just so it's at top of the link. Thanks very much, everybody. I've enjoyed this one.
Member tonight, didn't we? Geordie FM.
Upgraded membership.
You
can upgrade your membership as well. We haven't had a couple of new members tonight there, so hopefully we will see you next week as well. But yeah,
we can see you Friday for extra time as well. Before that,
so what
day is it today?
Who?
Wednesday, extra time.
What about it?
Saying we can see them on there before next week.
Whatever he said. I've enjoyed this, mate.
It's been good, hasn't it?
It's been good.
Something different.
Yeah.
Shall we do it again?
No.
Well, not now. I'm going to Pilates.
Thanks, everybody. Don't forget to like the video. If you don't want to become a member, you don't have to. Just subscribe to the channel. That'll do us.
Definitely do that.
So thank you very much. Like Mark said, extra time is here on Friday. You'll have more coming up. You'll have match previews coming up. You'll have the All Smile on Faces podcast on Monday. Don't know what we're going to talk about. Probably Eddie Howe. We don't have a game.
I mean, I won't get bored of talking about him for a while yet.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.